Okay, with 2017 all wrapped up, I'm going to give you my list of my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2018. Now, keep in mind, this list is primarily going to be the bigger movies of 2018. Because, well, we don't know what other movies are going to end up being as good as we think they are or will end up being. Because, I mean, like, who would have predicted that Get Out would have been as good as it was? I mean, seriously. So, I'm not gonna know what movies are coming out unless a trailer comes out that gets my attention. These are just the top 10 movies that are on my radar and that I am most excited for. Starting with... Initially, I wasn't really all excited for A Wrinkle in Time because, I mean, what the hell is this movie? I mean, it stars Oprah Winfrey, Reese Witherspoon, and Mindy Kaling, and Zach Galifianakis and Chris Pine. Again, what is this movie really about? Like, I don't know. And when I saw the thumbnail for the trailer, I was not at all impressed at what Oprah Winfrey was going to look like. So, for many months, I just didn't watch the trailer. I probably should have, because this trailer is actually really cool. And again, I don't really know exactly what it is this movie's about. This movie just looks gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. I mean, the set designs, the cinematography. I want to know what this movie's about, obviously, but I am also really excited just to look at this movie. So that's why it's at number 10. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. When I heard that they were going to do an animated Spider-Man movie, I wasn't really that excited because, I mean, is this going to be like one of those really bad 2D animated movies? Now, don't get me wrong, I want more 2D animated movies out there, but usually we've seen what happens when it comes to the straight-to-DVD animated movies of superheroes. They just don't grab the potential that they could. But on the other hand, is this a CGI animated movie? Because if so, then I'm worried that the characters are going to look a lot like characters we've already seen. You know, like, because when you look at a lot of animated movies these days, humans usually look very similar to each other in many movies. Like, I'm not even going to try to say what, but just look up CGI animated humans yourself. And aside from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and The Incredibles, they usually look pretty similar. So, I wasn't so sure about Into the Spider-Verse, but I saw the trailer and holy shit, this looks amazing. I mean, the music, the animation is gorgeous. Like, it kind of makes itself look like stop-motion animation, yet it is CGI animation. But there are just so many gorgeous shots in this trailer that look like they could be on a painting or something. I don't know. Especially that one really cool scene where Spider-Man is falling upside down. My god, that looks amazing. Number 8 is a movie that I was initially not really hoping would see the light of day because and that's the new movie coming out that we haven't even seen any pictures or trailers for, Christopher Robin. Oddly enough, there was already a movie that came out last year called Goodbye, Christopher Robin. And hey, I was right about the title. I still need to see that, though. But whatever the case, Christopher Robin is going to star Ewan McGregor, of all people, as an older Christopher Robin who, you know, is an adult now, and he needs, apparently Winnie the Pooh and friends come to him and try and help him reconnect with the 100 Acre Wood. So basically, this is a Winnie the Pooh version of Hook. Yeah. So why am I anticipating this movie when I just said that I initially wasn't? Well, a couple of things. One of which is that Jim Cummings is actually coming back to play Winnie the Pooh. Oh my god, as a guy who grew up on the Tigger movie and Piglet's Big Movie, you have no idea how much this means to me. I know Sterling Holloway is great, but for me, Jim Cummings will always be my Winnie the Pooh. And I was so worried that for this live-action adaptation, they were going to get some random celebrity. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, eventually I would have to accept it because as long as the actor is a good actor, then they can play anything they want. But it's Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings is Winnie the Pooh for me. And he's playing him in this movie, and I'm so excited that he is playing him. But the other reason why I'm anticipating this movie more than I was that the guy who's directing this also directed Finding Neverland. Which, okay, you got me, okay, fine, I'm hooked. You got me interested. So, yeah. Number 7 is Deadpool 2. And why not? Like, Deadpool was such a funny movie. It was one of the funniest superhero movies I'd ever seen in my life. And it was the only superhero comic book comedy that I know of that actually got nominated for Best Picture at the Golden Globes. Well, in the comedy or musical category. But whatever the case, that's astonishing. And so, obviously they would make a sequel with Deadpool 2 coming out this year. Now, the thing that makes me a little bit worried about this movie is that the director of the first movie, Tim Miller, left the sequel because he wanted to make the movie with about around $50 million, like the same budget that the first Deadpool movie had, but Ryan Reynolds wanted to go with a bigger budget, and so Tim Miller left. Which makes me a little bit cautious, because I hope they don't try to overstep their boundaries here, because Deadpool, that first movie was so good. And it was a smaller movie. Deadpool was a smaller comic book movie. I mean, yeah, $50 million is a lot, but that's still very small compared to a lot of the DC movies and the other X-Men movies and the Marvel movies. So, is Deadpool 2 going to work out? I think so. The first trailer that parodied Bob Ross I thought was really funny. So, we'll see where this goes. So, right now, that's why it's in the spot. Number 6 is X-Men Dark Phoenix. I know a lot of people were turned off by X-Men Apocalypse. I don't know why. I really loved X-Men Apocalypse. I mean, is it as good as X-Men First Class or Days of Future Past or especially Logan? No. But still, I thought it was a great movie. I thought the heart was still there. There was some humor, and there was also some very heavy dramatic tension going on in that movie. I honestly don't really know why people hated it that much. I don't. But, however, I am really anticipating X-Men Dark Phoenix. Because even though I liked X-Men The Last Stand, I don't think it was a great movie. But, however, I'm hoping X-Men Dark Phoenix can be really, really great. Because the images we've seen and where X-Men Apocalypse left off, where all the characters were wearing some really cool costumes, I want to see where this goes. And considering that Simon Kinberg, the writer of those X-Men movies, is going to be directing this one, that gets me a little interested. This makes me want to know where this goes. Number 5 is Steven Spielberg's newest movie, Ready Player One. Now, initially, I was not excited for this movie until I saw the trailer. Oh my god, that teaser trailer was so good. I mean, that version of Pure Imagination with those incredible visuals, it made it feel so epic, especially when the title came up. It's like, ding, doo, doo. I mean, because I love the song Pure Imagination. Like, hearing that in this very imaginative movie trailer really fit the tone of that trailer. It really brought me down. Like, I was so excited. And knowing that this is in a video game, like initially I was wondering why the effects weren't really looking so good, and I was wondering if you were actually going to see the physical people in a CGI world. But no, the character, like when they go into the video game, they are CGI, which that's a really smart move, because if the characters are animated and they're in an animated world, then the effects are going to hold up a little bit more, because you're not trying to blend reality with something that's CGI. It's just all CGI, and it still looks really good though. So I'm really anticipating Ready Player One. I hope it's another Jurassic Park and not another BFG. I mean, I didn't think the BFG was terrible. I mean, nothing's offensive in it. It's just... No. No. Number 4 is Andy Serkis's remake of The Jungle Book, Mowgli. That's what the title is now. After I saw Disney's version of The Jungle Book, like, I just fell in love with that movie. That movie is so good. I think it's one of Disney's best live-action movies yet. I mean, you could barely call it live-action, considering the boy, Neil Sethi, I think that's his name. I hope I didn't mispronounce that. But whatever the case, he was the only real thing in that movie, so whatever the case. So, this version of The Jungle Book is going to feature more big celebrities playing the characters, including Andy Serkis himself playing Baloo, and yeah, and they're all going to be motion captured. Now, on one hand, it does make me a little bit concerned, because how in the world are you even going to come close to the quality of Disney's new version of The Jungle Book? But at the same time, it's Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is the king of motion capture. He will get this right if he wants it to be, and he has already proven himself to be one of the best actors working today. I mean, just watch his performance in War for the Planet of the Apes. He should get an Oscar nomination for that movie, even though he probably won't. But the potential that this movie could have, especially since I guess it's going to be closer to the book, which I heard was way darker. I want to see where this goes. I don't think it's going to be better than the Disney 2016 version of The Jungle Book, but I am interested. This does get me very interested in what Andy Serkis wants to bring to this. Coming in at number 3 is a movie we've been dying to see for 14 years, and that's The Incredibles 2. The Incredibles is my favorite Pixar movie of all time. Some of them have come close, like Finding Nemo and, what was it called? Monsters, Inc., but I just love The Incredibles. The Incredibles was so funny. It was such a different superhero movie. And its characters are just so memorable and so well fleshed out and likable. And of course, it helps that the action was amazing. Like when Dash was running on the water. Good God. When he starts giggling during that, I feel like a kid again. And so I am so pumped for The Incredibles 2. Why haven't we gotten this sooner? We got 2 Cars sequels, and yet we didn't get an Incredibles 2 until now? Whatever, at least we're getting it at all. Brad Bird, the director and writer of the first movie, is coming back to helm this movie. I'm just really wondering what they're going to do with The Incredibles 2. Please don't let there be a villain thrown at the end. Like, let's have the next Syndrome. I mean, like, don't have someone copying off of Syndrome, unless it's part of a joke or whatever. I don't know. Just have a villain like Syndrome. Syndrome was not a plot twist villain saved just for the end of the movie, for like the very end of the movie. Syndrome, of course, it was revealed who he was, but however, he was still a villain throughout all of his time on screen later on in the movie. Well, when I say later on in the movie, I mean like I guess he's around the middle part. I don't know. If you've seen The Incredibles, you know what I'm talking. You know where he first appears. Whatever the case, like, he is a villain in that movie. I want there to be a villain like that in The Incredibles 2. Like, an actual villain, not just villain saved for the very end. I want a legitimate villain. Please, Brad Bird. Please. I want this to be up on the ranks as one of the best animated Disney movies. Just like the first Incredibles. Number 2 is Jurassic World, obviously, because Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time. And while I didn't love Jurassic World, even though people are calling this Jurassic World 2 when really it's Jurassic Park 5, I just... whatever the case. I didn't love Jurassic World. I liked it, but I didn't love it. One of the main issues was that if it was a reboot of Jurassic Park, it'd be different. But no, this is a sequel to Jurassic Park. And so, as a sequel, I was really confused as to why everything was so mega futuristic. Because in the first Jurassic Park, it was very reserved. It was a science fiction movie with lots of really cool science fiction aspects, like the technology to bring dinosaurs back to life, sure, but they had regular Jeeps. They had regular computer programming software. Everything in the first Jurassic Park, hell, the first 3 Jurassic Parks, felt very reserved. It felt like a science fiction movie in our world. Jurassic World didn't seem like that. It just felt like a straight-up science fiction movie. And, of course, it didn't help that a lot of the CGI in the movie was not... I'm not going to say it was very noticeable, because, I mean, it was, but that's not... like, because let's face it, even some of the best CGI, we know when we're looking at CGI. Our brains are just tell us that it's CGI. We know when we're looking at CGI. Doesn't make it any less good. It's just we know that we're looking at a computerized image. But with Jurassic World, the effects aren't bad, but they're not very incredible either, like the first movie. Whenever they had animatronics, they were either too glossied up like a snake, or they were covered by CGI. It's just, I like that dirtiness, that real grit that was in the first Jurassic Park, and the other 2 Jurassic Park sequels. Jurassic World felt very clean and family-friendly, and it felt like the generic blockbuster movie. I mean, it's a good one, but not among the ranks of Jurassic Park, the first one. But the effects look a lot better in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, so that's a good sign. However, the thing that really makes me pull back, I'm like, is this really gonna work out? Is the volcano subplot. Because if you've seen the trailer, you see there's a big volcano that blows up, and I'm just like, why? Do we need another volcano in a movie? I just don't like volcanoes in movies. It's just so generic. Like, what can you do with a volcano? And whenever they do utilize volcanoes in movies, it's just so gruesome that it just feels like shock value. Like, if you remember the scene in Dante's Peak, or whatever the hell that movie was called, there's a scene in that movie that was so unpleasant, so just so disturbing that it just felt like shock value. I don't want Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom to feel like shock value. But whatever the case, I am excited for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. As the trailer makes it hint, I hope it's more like the horror aspect the trailer's going for, but I don't think it will. I think it'll probably just be an action movie. I'm hoping that it is more than just an action movie. I really want this to be a legitimate, awesome Jurassic Park movie. Back to the olden days. Wow, I feel old. And number 1, you probably knew this was coming. Avengers Infinity War. This is what the MCU has been climbing to. This is what the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been building up to. Like, all of the characters you've come to know and love from the entire MCU. Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, Captain America. Did I already say Captain America? I don't know. Ant-Man, the Wasp, I think they're going to be in this movie, I think. Doctor Strange, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man. So many of these different heroes and different personalities are going to come together in this movie to fight the big baddie, Thanos. And the trailer, this is one of Marvel's best trailers yet, if not their best trailer. It is so intense. And it is just, it's everything I want Infinity War to be. I mean, just good lord. Like, the 19th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's just, I just can't believe it's actually here. It's like when the first Avengers was coming out, even though back then I wasn't really into movies all that much. But whatever the case. Like, this is, I don't know, I have no words to describe it. I'm just so excited for Avengers Infinity War. I mean, oh, it looks so good. I cannot wait to see what happens in this movie. And that wraps up my list of my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2018. So, what do you think of my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2018? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Give this video a like, share the video so we can get the channel circulated, and after this brief message, click this. Do you like my videos? Do you know how hard it is to make my videos? Huh? Do you? Anyways, why not consider becoming a patron on my Patreon? Just $10 a month and you're already contributing so much to me. This way I can help with purchasing Movie Pass every month. I can get new, better equipment. Overall, it just means better videos for you guys. Check out my Patreon, check out the perks, and see if you're interested.